Hello there. Forgive me, what's happening here at the moment? Are you just going to stand there and not say anything? Yes, I am a tailor. Why, was it the tailor shop which gave it away? Or was it the tailor sign outside the tailor shop which gave it away? Or was it perhaps the tape measure which I carry around me which gave it away? Or perhaps it was a combination of the sign, the shop, the tailor interior, the tape measure. Yes, this is where Lord Farquaad gets his ties. Forgive me. Now, I don't wish to sound impertinent or anything like that, but you don't look like you wear ties nor know the true meaning about ties or anything about ties. Well, yeah, I suppose that's actually... Yeah, that does make sense. I could help you there. Well, normal customers would come in and they would perhaps make an order knowing that they're going to spend an absolute fortune in a store such as this, but I think I'm a little bit out of your price range here, so perhaps you would like to go find somewhere else. Perhaps another county somewhere. How much? Oh, why didn't you say so to begin with? It's just your tie doesn't look like it matches that sort of amount of money. Fascinating. What's your surname? Oh, really? Yeah, I think I have heard of that name here before. Right, I think I know your parents. Yeah. All right, but no, that's good enough for me if you would be here. I won't throw you out today. So you are here looking for a tie, a selection of ties, even better, and you're looking for a new tailor. Well, you have just stepped foot in one of the greatest tailors in these lands, where you can get bespoke suits and all of that business, or, as I see you've wandered your way to the tie section around me here, you can get the perfect ties. Now, all of our ties are handmade on the premises, okay? Some are made by me. If I've got time, it's a little bit of a hobby, you see. Yeah, but I have a vast selection of ties, which, if you've gone through a tie selection process before, then you know that it is an art form, a very relaxing art form, one that I cannot possibly say that you might or may not fall asleep during the process, because some customers find it so relaxing. You see, a suit process, a bespoke suit process, or anything to do with the tailor is a very personal thing. Yeah, well, as long as you're quite happy with that, tell me what sort of tie you're looking for, what sort of event. Yeah. Right, I see. Okay. Yeah. No. That's fine. I get the gist. So, part of this process is that you've now told me just so much about you. I haven't got time to hear it all. Sorry, I'm so sorry about that. But you've told me enough about you. During this time here, your engagement and conversation, the way you present yourself, the way you stand, the way you look at the moment, the way your eyes stare directly at me, the way you're trying to relax, the way you feel a little bit agitated, the way you look like you haven't had sleep properly in the last I don't know how long. That has all been studied by me right now. Well, it's because I've got my studying pipe, you see. It's a very good tool for judging character. During that process, you've already formally involved yourself in this part of the process of the tie selection process, and that is me studying you to find a great selection of ties. What I will then do is find the appropriate ties there for you. See this shelf here? And you see this shelf here? I will fill both of these shelves up with ties which I think appropriately fits you and your personality, and ties which I think will actually look good on you. That is a job of a tailor. These are ties that I have made, and I can also get custom made again should you wish to have multiple copies of these ties, or if you would like something tweaked a little bit different. However, I wouldn't recommend that because that's just not what ladies and gentlemen do. You see, they don't do that sort of thing. They know what comes from this shop is absolute first class. Well, during that process you select some ties, I show you all the ties, and then we go to a tie fitting where you get to actually try on the ties, and I get ties and knots on you, and we get to test them out per se. Then you get to decide what sort of things you like. How does that sound there to you? Of course it sounds absolutely amazing. It's because I said it. Well, if you give me a moment, then I'm going to take these away and get some ties to put in them. Okay, well, I'll fill up these with some ties, okay? If you would like whiskey or something like that, I don't have any. If you would like coffee or tea, help yourself in another shop, but not here. If you'd like to relax, sit down, anything like that, feel free. I won't wake you up. And I'll bring back the ties as soon as possible. Right then. Here I have a very suitable selection of ties which I have found for you, each of which matching various descriptions which you have given me, but also including the ties for which I think will look good on you as well. Now, this is a very important part of the tie tailoring process. This is the part where you get to select your tie. You get to find the right ones that you would like the look of. Ties are very personal things. It says a lot about your character. Some ties you probably want for it to speak for itself, so I would go for something really dreary, or perhaps something bland and blank could be a tie for you, though I've opted something for a little bit more classy, a little bit more that says a little bit more about yourself. We're hoping that we can put a tie on you that you will really like. It will suit you, and it will look really good on you. It will complement your features. That can be done with various styles, different colors, different lengths, perhaps different patterns. But just know that the ties that we make here are all purely a collection of either silks, which is fine silks, and cashmere as well. So we have the very best of materials for the very best of ties, for what we hope to be the very best of customer. That would be you, yeah. Although I probably don't feel that way too much about you, but right. So finding your right tie is a very important process. Now, here in our tailor store, we try to keep this process as relaxing as possible. Think of it as if you were going to a spa, but for exceptionally well-dressed individuals, which could be you. Not so much now, but it could be you. So this is part of the tailoring process which could either make or break your whole ensemble, which you have there. Well, it's a tricky thing, so no pressure, but luckily for you, you have me here to guide you along your way and to pick a suitable candidate for you, which can bring you up to the level for which we like to be in terms of style and fashion for ladies and gentlemen such as ourselves. Right, so our collection of ties here, which we just pull shelf out a little bit here, and we have an extra one down there. place that back in there. And shelf out here as well. I have a nice collection here for us to go through and for you to pick some designs here. So how about that you draw me towards a tie which you like. Now both of these sides include a tie which looks utterly ridiculous. It's made of polyester and it tells me a lot about the customer, so no pressure if you pick that tie. I will not judge you too much, but it's in there somewhere. Okay, just that one tie, and same with that tie. But apart from the rest, there is a collection here which I think matches your personality. So this side with the ties that we've got here, yes, we've gone a little bit flamboyant here, add a little bit of colour, a little bit of difference. Because when you were not really talking to me so much, or in the few words that you had, I saw a little bit of something that needed to add an extra bit of value to you. So these particular ties could be quite nice. So let me take that out there for you. So I believe a tie such as this would really complement someone like you. So what we have here is one of our finest threads. This is cashmere, and what it has this very unique diamond uniform pattern across the whole of the tie. It spreads across the whole thing. And what's the beautiful thing about this? The selection of colours which are used, which I think complements many styles of suits and smart wear with shirts and things. This colour arrangement here, you would pick certain colours to contrast certain features. So your features, which seem to come across as very bland, a bit like your personality, we have used a colour for features here which would perfectly counteract that. So it's kind of going to enhance your personality, make you a little bit more approachable, but also add a little bit of warmth in there as well. There's a slight little bit of playfulness in this tie, which I think could be buried deep within. With this particular tie here as well, we have a very fine detail in the tie. If we look closely at the tie, you'll see each square has its own lines going down and across. So that's horizontal and also vertically there as well. So all those little finer details here make for a very, very, very smart tie, which I think could be a good candidate there for you. So a personal recommendation from me, a tailor, would be a tie such as this. However, this might be not entirely your cup of tea, though I would recommend that you should look and consider a recommendation such as this tie here. It's a beautiful tie, and I think it would look really good on you. Good. So how about what I will do here? I'm going to leave the ties here, and then we will try on the selection for which you choose. Okay, so we'll just go through this point here, like I said earlier on. We'll select your ties and then we'll get on to trying it on. Okay, so don't feel like this is the last bit of the fitting. This is just the selection process, and we'll leave your ties here. Good. You don't mind if I light up the old pipe, do you? Do? No? Good. Thank you so much. Right then. Perhaps on this selection, maybe you would like to head in a direction for a tie. So what we have here, yeah, that's the same sort of formula, same sort of style as this one, just in a different color scheme, but it's very subtle in its way of showing the patterns there. Though you could go for something a little bit opposite, maybe something that's a little bit more on the plain side, but still it gives off notes of a somewhat different personality with this very bashful bronze color. It's real sort of hiding in there, that orange, but it's a very smart type. That's a very nice silk one there as well. But which one are you drawn to here? Now this is a very smart tie. This is a really nice looking tie. Some might argue that it carries a little bit of yellow notes in there. However, this is in fact gold, and the gold perfectly complements the navy blue, sort of satin looking, with a little bit of sheen, the royal navy blue polka dots throughout, and it's in a nice diamond pattern, so it's very glossy. It's very executive looking. If you want something that's going to be a little bit smart but show off a very warm side of nature of you, should you carry that about you, I'm not entirely sure I've reached that sort of point with you yet, but I'm sure it might be in there. And this is a tie that you've selected, so for me or Tailor would suggest that there is some warmth within that very cold, dark, very unwelcoming exterior that you give off. This particular tie is silk, and it is a fine silk, and as you will find out, it feels absolutely amazing. But this is a good choice for a tie. I think it will look very good on you. That's a good choice there. So is there a tie here which interests you? Remember, there's still that one polyester one, so make sure we can avoid that. Okay, we'll move on to the other side here. Okay. So what do you think of the ties that we've got over here? Now, would you allow me to select one here for you first? Well, as your tailor, I would consider it my duty to pick you a right tie which would look really good for your ensemble, or future one, shall we say. Right, well, we've gone for something a little bit more formal here as well, so I did two selections as I was putting these two tie presentations together. We've got a little bit more of flamboyancy here in terms of colour, a little bit more playfulness, warmth, and a different exterior. Here it carries through that, but with a slightly more formal design up here, so I think there could be a little bit of seriousness about you. This tells me that that carries a little bit of style with it as well. So I've chosen some ties here which give off those sensibilities, shall we say. Well, you do remember that there is a polyester one in there. This truly is such a luxury tie. Let me tell you about this one. So this particular tie carries very unique colours, which hopefully you'll be able to see in here. So along with the pattern, which follows a very sort of William Morris-esque style to it, has that floral designs, the 12s, it sort of emits a sort of paisley design in there. But with the colour, it's quite subtle in its bronze and its gold, but with its browns, it's very sort of nearly autumnal, but it carries those dark colours. So it could be a little bit blue, but it's a dark brown there if you look very closely. So it's quite a mystical looking tie for a mystical personality, which I think you have. No one quite understands you, and I think this tie really does represent that. It's sort of a tie which fits your nature, so to speak, and I think this tie could be a very good fit there for you. So would that be a good recommendation there for you? I'm really pleased to hear that. Shall I put that? Great. So perhaps you would like to select a tie here yourself. So let me talk you through some. So yeah, we have the navy blue ones here. This is quite a nice looking tie here. It's a bit more formal. It speaks of a different age, but there are subtle differences between here, only in the burgundy, and one's a bit more red, but that is literally it. I couldn't quite decide on these two here. Also, there is one in particular here which might guide me towards you a little bit. That polka dot there is quite a firm favourite of mine. I seem to like quite a lot of polka dot items when it's black and white, and I think that could be one which suits you so a little bit. Yes, it's this one here, isn't it? No, this one? I see here. This one here. Okay. This is a very smart looking tie. So you've gone for something which initially copies my idea here for you as well. So of course you are going to mimic me. I wouldn't expect you to be able to pick something for yourself. But of course flattery, mimicking is a form of flattery, the greatest form of flattery, so thank you so much. But this particular tie here is very similar in style here. However, this doesn't carry the same patterns. There's a lot of subtle differences in there, so hopefully you're able to appreciate that. So these dark colours here would go well with your personality, so it's very, very unwelcoming, like I said, but then it adds a little bit of warmth here with this gold. It could be perceived as a yellow, but this is a very dark gold with a little bit of bronze in there as well. If you look closely at the patterns here, there are some really nice textures in there, in that silk tie, and you can see here, okay, and here, it has even smaller diamond shapes in there due to the thread and how it's been sewn together. This is a really nice tie. It will feel really nice to the touch there as well. I think this could be a good choice for you actually. Yeah, it almost looks a bit like a clown. Excellent. So put that on. Is there another one here which looks like it could be something you're interested in? So yeah, this is the burgundy one. It's very smart. It looks really formal, but a little bit something like you'd wear at a wedding during the winter time. This is, of course, smart business meetings, you know, exchange of houses and lands and things like that, signing deeds and all that sort of thing. This one is a little bit, if you're say in the club, you want to relax, I'd wear a tie such as this. Stripes do indicate someone of class and style. Well, that's why I have so many stripes on me. And then we move down from the burgundies, so we have very similar ties here. But these particular ties here, I think could be of great interest to you. So if I just show you these ties here. Right, so this one has a very sort of scaly thing. So do you fly fishing or something like that? I don't care that much. You just yes and no is fine. Yeah, okay. So this could mimic that for you. It does carry those sort of bluey greens in there and that turquoise, but it's almost reminiscent to what? To a mermaid. Of course you would say something like that indeed. Okay, so place that one there. But I think this burgundy one, with this very dark red with it, carries that sort of scaly look. But you'll notice with this tie that it looks incredibly important, and it says a personality such as yourself. Look, I'm trying exceptionally hard and it's working, because this tie just shows class and something that's subtle, something that a gentleman would wear. Subtle is the key when you're a gentleman. You never want to wear something that stands out, because that's very ungentlemanly, of course. However, you do wish to wear something which lets everybody else know that you are far superior to them. So a tie like this and a colour like this, you would be interested in that. I see. Okay, we'll place it there. Don't worry, we're going to try that tie on there as well. And another tie here for you. This polka dot one here. Really? I see. So this is a really nice tie, this polka dot one. Polka dot is one of my favourite patterns here. This tie speaks more than words can say, and it has a very subtle silvery polka dots dotted throughout to create this diamond cross pattern, which looks really nice on the tie. It has subtle line textures in there with the thread as well, and this one's polyester. So the quality of our ties are so good that you barely notice the difference. But the polyester, what did you say? Well, you could swing that around and say the polyester, the ties are so bad that the polyester, excuse me? Oh, it's a joke. Oh, right. I see. Okay, keep those jokes to yourself. So this particular tie, you'll notice that it is a polyester tie. However, you'll find that some ties like these will not last as long as ties such as these. So I always like to just add a polyester one in here, just a little game with my customers and I. We always find it quite amusing, and none of my customers have ever picked a polyester tie themselves, because they know class when they see it. And unfortunately, you didn't pass that test there. So let me just push that shelf over across there again. Well, perhaps you'd like to have another look over here at the other ties we've got lurking in the corner here, and pick something which might be suited there for you, and be careful of that polyester one there again. I think one more tie here. There is certainly something which I think is calling to me for you. So this is the real polka dot one. This does look exceptionally nice. It's nice and a bit more lighter silver there. It looks really smart. This one, the same sort of pattern. It has that sort of dark gold with the greys, but it's for a very specific type of suit. The bronzy orange down here, it's a tangible choice, but I don't think, no, not today. This one is very similar in nature to this one, but whereas the pattern is a little bit closer together, comes across a little bit darker. This silver one is a very smart one. It indicates a certain personality attribute which you could carry, which is you might go to a few more social events, something a bit more summery. However, you just show your personality says winter to me all the time. Now we have a tie here which has exceptionally wide pattern on there. Could be suited there for you. However, I think down here this pattern is exceptionally classy. And of course orange is here and a gold one, which even though the gold, I would always suggest gold. I think this particular gold one here could be a really nice fit for you. However, you wouldn't want it to contrast too much with the ties that you've already selected. Plus, I think only certain types of people can pull off a gold tie. So it's more for show as part of this combination, really, because it's kind of an art form, selecting ties to go with each other. And I think this collage here just screams taste. Yeah, and that's a sign of a good tailor, of course, and hopefully me being your tailor. That's something we appreciate there. Yeah, I think it's this tie here, or is it this one here? You want this one? I wouldn't recommend this one here, okay, unless you want to fall in the same trap. Indeed. Right. Let's have a look at this. Sorry? Oh no, you don't like that one. Oh, I must insist you make up your mind before I take the time to take it out of its shelf. Goodness me. This one, I'm going to take it out now, okay? This is a very rare sort of tie. And what I mean about a rare tie such as this is because there's only a certain type of person that can really sport a tie like this. Push that back in. Even though I think that you aren't really that sort of person who could sport a tie like this, it can either make or break your whole attire. It's sort of perceived as autumnal in its design. The look is very bronzy. It has a sort of, you didn't come gold, you didn't come silver second, you came third. And you've got to deal with it with this tie. And it also shows that you didn't get a gold watch, you didn't get a silver watch, but instead you got brass. So it's a tie like that which shows a very sort of harsh exterior, but this was the one which I thought that mimics that in the darker colours, but within the lighter oranges, tones of, subtle tones of course, of a personality that might be worth knowing, such as yours. I think it was a good fit there for you. So it has that square pattern that you seem to have taken a little fancy to there, but I think this could be a good fit there for you. Indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. I think that's half a dozen is a perfect amount of ties for you to try on. And I think there's quite a difference in styles, colours, and of course taste, which I think will be good for our next part of our fitting. So how about we get to trying on some ties here for you? No, you clearly haven't done this before, have you? I'm going to come to you, right? And then I will put on the ties there for you. So minimal touching for you, so minimal effort. Okay, it just sort of preserves the ties a little bit better. Good. Right then. Yeah. Right. Now I'm just having another little look at you and making sure that those will all be the suitable choices. I think we've made quite the nice selection there, and I think there are going to be some ties which look really good in your hands here. Right. So this was one of the tires that you said you liked. Now, upon nice close inspection there, you can see the texture is really nice, and this is really good sounding tire. Tires, of course, you have to make sure they sound good because you're going to be wearing them all the day. You're going to be brushing off your hands and fingers along them all day. They're going to be touching your suit and your shirt. It's a very personal, intimate thing, the tire. This particular one has a really nice feel to it. It's really smooth. It's that silkiness to it, and that pattern looks amazing. I think that's going to be a good look there for you. Yeah, I think so. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the tie out here. Would you like a Windsor? Of course you would. Yeah. Why don't I wear a Windsor? Or mind your own business. Well, so what do you think of that tie? It looks really good on you. That's a nice look. It certainly conveys a certain something about you. I don't know if that's quite a rude word or something to do with style, but something is stirring there because of this tie. Okay, well, perhaps let's take that tie off there. Okay, yep, that's it, around there. That's it, and that just passes me. Thank you. It's a little bit of a mess, though I'll get that ironed out. Would that be a tie that you'd like? Of course you would. And would you like the matching handkerchief with that as well? Of course. Don't worry. Of course, they all come with matching handkerchiefs, so we'll get that ironed out there for you and put away for you to take back. Okay. So this is quite a unique looking tie, and like I said, it has those little tiny details in there of that pattern, but it looks really good. As you can feel, this cashmere is really nice and it feels really good. So you'll be wearing this and you'll be wearing it feeling great as well. That's the beauty of ties. They make one feel like a different person, as long as you've got the right tie on, of course. And as your tailor, I can also confirm that this would be a good fit there for you. So let's try this one on. Okay. Windsor again. Right. Well, it's because you probably liked the first Windsor. Now that's what you're used to as Windsor knots. I doubt you'll be able to do it yourself. Pull the knot up a little bit there. Just tight your collar, but not too tight. Windsor doesn't need to be too tight. There we go. Well, that's a very smart looking tie. And how's that there for you? Yeah, does that feel good on you? Well, it's all about feeling good there, but that actually looks surprisingly good there for you. Yeah, I'll take that off because you ordered up the other one. There we go. And you would like the pocket sheath to go with it as well? Yeah, indeed. I'm sure I can locate that there for you too. Don't worry, I have this all boxed up there for you. Now, this was what I would call the clown tie for people who probably are a bit clownish. This is quite the disgusting looking tie at first glance. However, upon close inspection, then that's where you see the inner beauty of this tie and the style. So that's with the autumnal colours. You've got the bronze bronzy brown with a bronzy orange there, and with a slightly darker, indicating a slightly darker looking day with these very work greys that you'll be going on work with. So it kind of conveys a lot about your personality. A bit odd, but I feel like it could be a good fit there for you. So let's just put that tile there. And it's a Windsor again you would like, is it? I see. It's fine. I mean, it needs to smarten up this tie a bit for you, because it's a unique piece, this one. So what do you think of that? It's a bit different, though I feel like it actually, only someone like yourself could pull this particular tie off. It's different, to say the least, but I think it surprisingly suits you. So, dude, that's one you like, of course. I am your tailor, and I, of course, would be not doing my job if I suggest a tie which looked absolutely abysmal on you. So, I'll just take that off there. There we go. Perfect. This is a really nice tie. So this is kind of tie you would pick up on Glad Rags or something like that. Something which has a very wizardy, mystical element to it. It's certainly what I would consider a Merlin-esque tie. Okay, so Glad Rags, I mean this particular tie has all those qualities which show sophistication. It shows wisdom. It also shows someone that could be trying too hard, but also might not be trying too hard, for which case could pull this off. And I think you might actually be able to pull off a tie such as this. So this is a really nice cashmere. The pattern looks really, really superb, and you can tell from this tie it's of the finest quality there as well. Would you like to try it on? Of course you would. Of course you would like to tie this tie on, and you'd like to have a Windsor knot with this one as well. Of course, the very best of tie knots here in this tail. Okay, and down there. And what do you think of that? Yeah, it's I think that's my favourite thus far. It really is a beautiful tie. That does look good on you. Yeah, perfect. The perfect gentleman's tie. Let me take that off there for you. Okay, around your collar. Great. Let me put this over here. So with the wrong lighting, this can be considered a little bit of a banana tie. However, this tie, upon another closer inspection, looks so good, and it's real silky to the touch feel, gives it this extra added luxury to the tie that you'll be wearing. This has those subtle polka dots there. They're not thick, they're just nicely patterned out, spread out, and in that royal navy blue there as well. I think it will go well for you actually. What kind of suit? Well, any sort of suit which I make will go with this tie. Okay, you have to make sure you buy it from me first. Right, here, let's put that on there. So what do you make of that? Of course, trust my judgment indeed. Yes, I am really marvellous. Well, that's why I'm a tailor. And that's why I'm your tailor. Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's a really smart tie. And I think that's a good length there for you as well. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Another great choice by me, so let me take that off. Okay. Anything else? Anything more comments you have to say about that? you seem to be a little bit more on the relaxed side. Some would consider that to be more on the rude side, though I hope that's a compliment that you are relaxing during this experience. Good. And finally, what I would consider the most risque of ties for you because of its extreme amount of Joseph and its Technicolor coat colours that it sports here on this tie. However, if you feel like you're Bilbo Baggins with your dressing gown on or something like that, this really is a tie which will complement that look. However, it has a sort of class and elegance to it. This is the cashmere one with those really fine details in there as well, which you see now how premium and luxurious this tie is. It really is a perfect tie, and one I wouldn't really recommend for the average customer, which I have in here. However, I am able to get away with certain selections like this because I think you're in dire need of help when it comes to ties and your general style. So, would you like to try this one? Good. Okay, let's do the knot in there. Okay, and there we go. How's that looking there for you? Indeed, yeah, that is a absolutely superb looking tie. Yeah, that's really nice. And you like it as well. Of course you like it because I suggested it for you. Indeed. Well, that's good, of course. Yeah. No. Let's take that off there for you. You can't enjoy too much. Okay. There we go. Let me take that off. Right then. And would that be a tie you're interested in there also? Excellent. So all of those ties you would like to purchase? Of course you would. That is great to hear that we've made the finest selections there for you. So how about that I get those all nicely boxed up there for you with accompanied by your pocket chiefs there also. Okay, and we can get to the finer details. Yes, obviously payment. We don't say it, ladies and gentlemen, don't say those things. They just indicate it as it is of little concern. Good. And there we go. I do believe that I have selected you the perfect ties here. And actually looking at them presented like this shows me what a great selection that we've actually made here for you today. So as you probably understand now how important it is to actually find the right tie for you, each designs mean different things, and these I think actually all complement you in a very strange way, which has been far better than what I actually initially expected when you first walked in here, because I really thought you were a lost cause and it would take a long time to find the right tie there for you. However, I think we've found the right tie here for you, so if you don't mind, I will just quickly find some handkerchiefs to match your ties here and to go in your box. Okay. love your ties. Thank you so much for coming into Tailor here today, and for me to be your tailor and select the right ties there for you. Normally it's for selecting the right materials for your bespoke suit or something like that, and putting together an ensemble or a pure masterpiece, and me measuring. We also offer that, and when I say we, I mean me. Well, allow me just to write down something here for you. I'll come to you, don't worry, don't worry. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. Take care of yourself. Cheerio.